This one comes from Prince Lono, and it's in response to setting up your Roland MX-1 for your environment. A video I did way back in 2016, January 2016 this one was. Hey, I think I got the overall gist, haha. I plan on using the MX-1 more for recording songs from Ableton. Is there a way to set it up so that the master FX, scatter, roll, etc. can be used on all tracks from the DAW, as well as tracks from the unit? So I could have the TR-8S in USB slot 1 and a vocal sampler sample coming in from Ableton and manipulate the two tracks simultaneously using the FX. Thanks, I hope you understood all that, ha. I'm new to this and trying to get my head around all this is a nightmare. I feel my brain is hemorrhaging, or it's just about to start hemorrhaging. Now, this was November, and I've got loads of stuff that I've been doing, but I was in the process of doing a video about this. I've kind of written, might have done it actually, can't remember if I've done it or not. The first thing to realise is that the sound is sent to the computer and comes from the computer pre-effects on the MX-1. So if you look at the circuit diagram, where the sound comes in and out, where the sound goes out is pre-effect, and where it comes back in is pre-effect. So whatever effects you put on the MX-1 will come out of the MX-1 mix. Now I've seen many comments of people saying, well, I want to put the effects on before I record it in Ableton. I'm sorry, you can't do that. Unless you take the audio field out of the MX-1, in which case the effects would be put on top, the signal goes out of the MX-1 dry. And it always will, because that's the way the circuitry is written. In my mode of operation, in terms of mode of operation, should I say, in mixer mode the computer is fed into the unit on the PC channel, and your TRS would also be on USB 1. The configuration will allow you to apply the effects simultaneously to both PC and USB channels. So hopefully I've read that right. You could try it in external mode, where it acts as an external source for the computer, but it would still apply the effects in the same place, which is post, coming from the computer. So that's kind of it's a limitation. I understand why it's done, because a lot of times when you're recording stuff, you want to record the dry signal and put the effects onto the master channel, as opposed to recording a channel with effects in. I know I've had arguments with recording engineers for years over this. Recording engineers want everything dry, and keyboard players set the sound up on their machines how they want the sound to sound, and they don't want to give it to the recording engineer dry. That's the sound I want, bloody record it. Sorry, excuse my French.
Remember, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Go over to Instagram and follow me there. Go over to Facebook, follow me there. That's where the normal notices are. And consider becoming a Patreon.
Next one comes from F# Mole. In response to my review of the Korg Poly 61 Part 3, a video I did in November 2021. Some annotations. Unison mode on a DCO based synth, while possible, doesn't actually make too much sense. This is due to the lack of oscillator drift. Secondly, presets can be stored and loaded through any audio source, not only cassette tape. Thirdly, concerning the hotspot on the right hand side of the keyboard, this will be called by old capacitors in the PSU, which become leaky over time. Well known issue on a Poly 61. Some unmentioned specific problems of these synths are leaky CPU board, batteries often destroying components, which on the other hand are hard to replace or repair, since availability online scans of service manuals are practically unreadable. New CPU board replacements are available though. Well, thanks for the annotations. That's the first thing. It in the comments to read for all, so people can read and obviously listen to this, and they will tell you about the annotations. If if this was a synth I was adding to the collection, I would have at a minimum recap the PSU. It was getting very toasty, as you say. It's a combination of capacitive degradation causing other composers like voltage regulators to work harder. But I'm not joking when I say that the hotspot was getting seriously toasty to the point where it was kind of a bit interesting to touch it. Batteries, unfortunately, are a problem at all legacy synths. You need to have a sort of regular maintenance program. What I do is I actually have a spreadsheet, and in that spreadsheet I effectively have the date and time I changed every battery on every piece of equipment I own, with a view to that in 5 years' time I will know that a battery needs to be replaced again, and it should theoretically, because of the work I've done the first time round, in terms of things like solder tag batteries and putting holders into the boards, etc. It becomes a very quick task to open the synth up and change them. So it is a problem. But my view is that a battery only lasts 5 to 7 years, and as long as I've got that flagging up on a spreadsheet for me, I know when I need to do the next piece of maintenance. In fact, some of my early synths that I did recollections for and have done battery upgrades are actually, funny enough, coming up to the sort of 5 to 7 year bracket when I need to start thinking about changing the battery again. A lot of people do, and this is kind of a word to the wise here. A lot of people do put synths in storage. I mean, I'm all my synths are in storage now because of my living situation, and because of that, people put synths in storage and completely forget about the whole battery scenario. If you are putting your synth in storage for an extended period of time, and you have backed all the sysacs up, etc., etc., then my advice is actually go and take the battery out. Yes, it's a bit of a pain in some of these synths that you have to crack it and move things around to get to the battery. But if you take it out, you know you're not going to get a leak on the board while in storage. And the old, the worst batteries are not really the coin cell ones. The worst batteries for leakage are the kind of the old sort of Varta style batteries that a lot of synth manufacturers, not the mainstream, but a lot of other manufacturers tended to put those kind of batteries into their synths. And they make horrible messes on synths. So just a word to the wise on that one.